What's up? We're back with some more After Thrones. We've got our Game of Thrones gear on. I like hers better.
Grindstone.
And of course, I've got my broadsword ready to do battle, my lady. Okay, what are we gonna start with? Oh, Jaime coming to Winterfell.
Yes.
We kind of knew he wasn't going to be welcome there, but I didn't realize how unwelcome he was going to be.
Oh yeah,
They were wanting to put his head on a chopping block.
Well, obviously Daenerys is mad because he killed her father. Like,
I mean, Mad King or not, still your dad.
Kingslayer. Like,
Still your dad.
that's what he's been called his entire life. And that's one big thing that's been resonating with her entire life. She doesn't know Jaime. She doesn't know the kind of character he is. Good guy, bad guy, not, whatever. She will always just remember him for the fact that he killed her father. Like,
not only that, it's just, I think it's the way he killed her.
Stabbed him in the back.
Stabbed him in the back.
It's with no honor. Like,
exactly.
But
like,
when you
her
hear,
father died with no honor.
You hear in seasons past when he actually admits the situation of why he actually did it, not for the purpose of, not only was Mad King a tyrant.
You want to applaud him. And that's why Brienne, I mean, in that moment, I think Brienne changes her view on him when she finds out why. And ever since then, all his actions, her or him like coming to her aid and stuff when she was about to be raped and stuff, it all made sense. Like, this guy is not a bad guy at heart.
You
and
see him.
She vouches for him.
Not only do you see they do a past recap at the beginning of the episode of Jaime from season 1 to Jaime to now of pushing Bran out of the window for ultimately being paralyzed. That's why he's paralyzed. And I think that Bran kind of defends him and Brienne defends him, and also Sansa basically kind of gives him his life. Like, she was the one to be like, I trust Brienne, and Daenerys wasn't cool with that. And Daenerys was expecting Jon to defend Daenerys, and Jon, obviously, with what we heard last episode, he's still in his mind, trying to get his life back together. And
I've been fucking my arms.
I could be the ultimate.
What in the 7 hells?
Yeah. So, but that's a big thing. But you can see with that, it comes to our next point of Sansa. I put Sansa versus Daenerys, and basically saying that Sansa is defensive, and she's kind of come into her own and learned over years of being manipulated not only by Cersei and
everyone,
every single person, she's come into her own as a woman and kind of is guarded, and now
super guarded.
She doesn't trust anybody.
No,
she doesn't trust.
I mean, rightfully so, though. Like, she's wary of Dany, and I think for good reason. And I think in this episode, it kind of showed us maybe it's a good thing that she's watching out for Jon, because Dany did not take the news.
Well, that's another point, but it's the fact that she knows the lineage of where she comes from, regardless if she's still the Mad King's daughter. She's always going to have that.
And she's always going to have that stigma around her, no matter what she does.
Her ultimate goal, and she's even said that when Daenerys went and talked to Sansa, that she wants, after all this is done, she's really not thinking, she thinks, okay, we're going to beat the dead, no big deal, this is not even a big issue, and after that, I'm going to go kill Cersei, and I'm going to become the rightful heir. It's like, girl, we're in like a bigger issue than just, let's go get the throne. Right. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna go kill this Night King real quick.
Yeah, it's like no big deal. And I think that Sansa kind of is putting her in her place, being like, What about the North? We told you after this you say and you sit here and you say you love Jon, but Jon is a northerner no matter what. You know, yeah, we know he is Aegon Targaryen, but he was raised in the North. He's
still a Stark.
He loves the North, and are you just gonna like, okay, push him aside and be like, you know?
Not only that, they don't want to be governed.
Not anymore.
She doesn't want to be governed. They don't want to have a king or queen. They want to have a king or queen of the North, and that's it. No one tells them what they can and can't do.
And she not saying that Sansa wants to be Queen of Winterfell.
She does 100%. She does 100%.
I just think she doesn't really.
She wants to be Wardeness of the North. That's what she was looking for.
She's been, you know, told what to do her entire life. I think it's not even the fact of wanting to be in charge. She just doesn't want to take orders from some queen or king that has one goal and one goal only, is for themselves.
But you can tell by the end of the conversation that things are not resolved between the two. I think Dany kind of came to try to put an olive branch out there, and Sansa is just a tough cookie to crack, and it's going to take more than a little kind-hearted word and a few sit-downs to make that happen.
Oh, yeah. But next point, we did the war meeting when they come. Obviously, that's another thing. Theon comes back and wants to fight back. He comes, you know, leaves the Iron Islands and he wants to fight, but he doesn't come back for Daenerys. And I think Daenerys thought, like, he came back to fight for her, right, and he asked Sansa to fight for her, you know? And I think to Daenerys that kind of was like, okay, I'm not in my element.
I'm chop liver.
I'm not in my element. I think she's so used to having people
fall over her.
Exactly. Do whatever she wants, whenever she wants. And this is the first time that she's kind of been like put in her place. Like, no, I'm not going to fight for you.
This ain't your house, bitch.
I want to fight for Sansa, not for you. And I think that's what it really put Dany in her place. And so, yeah. Brienne gets knighted by Jaime. That whole scene.
Yeah.
That whole scene was hilarious. You know, it's just
that whole little, I guess you could call it like a
little powwow, kinda.
Of all the main,
Tyrion,
you know, some of the subpar. I wouldn't say subpar characters, but
Tyrion and Brienne and Davos, Tormund. Jaime,
which is hilarious.
He's a
crack
in
up.
love with.
What did he say? You know why they call me that? Because I killed a giant when I was 10. and then I slept with his wife. I sucked at her teeth for 10 months. He's like, that's why I'm so strong. Because I drink giant's milk. And he's got this like horn of ale. And he just like shoves it like all down his throat.
Everywhere. And he's just...
Everyone are kind of looking at him like, okay, this guy is another breed.
He's just a funny character. I think he's just, you know, he's not like the main character, but you can't...
He's definitely comic relief, but he's welcomed comic relief. I'd say that.
You know, it was kind of like a...
Provides good levity between the seriousness.
And he comes in and has like the biggest hots for Brienne, and
it's so like he puts it out there. He puts it all out there.
Yeah, but speaking of that, for Arya getting down, I did not expect that.
Well, it's like I was telling you, you know, I mean, she's never been with anyone. She knows she's about to die.
Well, let's hope not.
They all are expecting to die. Every single one of them. There's not one. Maybe Tyrion, because he's so fucking drunk. Because that's why the only reason he thinks he can win. They're all expecting to die. And she knows that. And she doesn't want to leave this earth without being with somebody, you know, without experiencing that. And she's had a thing for this this guy, you know, ever since she met him. You know, there was that flirtatious vibe, you know, and she was just little
I
and
just
young.
didn't expect Arya being, you know, the tough cookie and the just all about killing. And
I did like the way she was like, I'm not your wed woman, take off your own pants, you know, like she's like, you know, we're getting down, but we're getting down on my terms, you know.
Yeah, it was.
And she did get her weapon made, so that was cool. It looks like a two-sided.
It looks like
bow.
it looks like what she learned to fight with when she was becoming a no-faced man.
It looks like a two-sided bow. Like it has two
like
dragon glass.
It's that stick, like.
That's called a bow, honey.
I'm thinking.
It has dragon glass.
I'm thinking like a bow.
Oh no. It has dragon glass on both sides, but in the picture it looked like one side shot off. So maybe we'll see that, you know, later on.
But big moment. You know, obviously we thought the battle was gonna start, but that's not till next episode. But oh well. Jon being the crypts, standing next to his mother's, you know, statue and.
Breaking the news.
Yeah, I didn't know. I didn't know if she was ever going to do it. I didn't know if he was going to.
Well, Sam is kind of like, have you told her?
Yeah.
You know, like,
and
you kind of need to tell her.
He comes down there, and he's been distant with her, obviously, ever since he's found out, and she knows that. And he comes down, or she comes down, and he, you know, she's like, you know, my brother, Rhaegar, raped her, and you know, I thought
she's always been told
he was a good
stories about him giving to the poor and seeing,
you know, being a good guy,
and that's who he really was.
Yeah, but she also hears the story about raping innocent Lyanna Stark and killing her.
That's not the way it went down.
No, and that's exactly what Jon said, and he's like, you know, I want you to know that my real name is Aegon Targaryen, and that...
She doesn't take the news well.
I knew she wasn't. From the beginning that we found out last...
You know, I didn't expect her to take it well, but I expected her to take it better.
No, I expected...
Than she did.
I remember last episode, when we found out that Jon was the rightful heir to the Iron Throne. He is the last living male heir to the Targaryens. That she's not going to be okay, because her goal from season 1 was to sit on the Iron Throne.
And she even tells Sansa that. She's like, I've known nothing but the pursuit of the Iron Throne my whole life.
That when she finds out that the person, not only is there someone in front of her that it belongs to, that it's the person that she cares for the most. One of the people that she cares for the most. And she is not okay with that.
Yeah, I definitely foresee maybe not her killing Jon, but not. It's going to turn. There's going to be a point where the tide turns, and there's all these theories out there if she's going to join the Night King and all this stuff. I don't know if all that's true, but I do know that I don't believe Dany is going to end up being the one that we all love and like look up to now. At the end of the series, I think we're going to have a different opinion of her.
Yeah. Well, and then after that, obviously, the news gets broken up by signal that someone's coming, and the dead is here.
And he has, you know, we've only seen like maybe what, 4 generals?
Four or five generals. He's got like 20.
No, he's got like 400. There's like a line as long as the eye can see, and they're all, I mean, visible generals. These are not whites that are just like ravenous. These are generals that are on horses that have, you know, the ice blades and stuff like.
But you don't see the Night King.
You don't see the Night King.
So,
which she has like, where's he at? I'm like, obviously, where would I be? On my fucking dragon.
Yeah, but
my fucking ice dragon.
He could be thinking big. He could be thinking.
Which he could be. He could be in
King's
King's Landing. He could be in King's Landing.
I have no idea.
You know, that would be awesome to me if he went and laid King's Landing low and burnt Cersei to a fucking crisp. That'd be awesome. But I think we've actually got more of a realization what the Night King actually wants, he is not after the Night Throne. He's not after the Night Throne. He is definitely, even Bronn says he's after a long night. And he wants to basically wipe the memory and anything of man away. And so all this, like, he wants to sit on the throne. He doesn't care about that.
I don't know. I think it's a little bit more complex than that. I think that I really am more, my biggest, I know that most people don't care about the Night King, but I don't know, I think my biggest concern is that we don't know who they really are. We don't know who he really is. We don't know who he was before. We don't know why he is or what his existence.
He's hunted Bran. And they're going to definitely use Bran for bait. And that's going to be interesting because Bran is their single most powerful weapon, if you really want to get down to it, is knowledge on how to defeat the army of the dead. And they're putting him out there, I mean, I wouldn't say unprotected, but they're putting him out there vulnerable. And so I thought this was the episode where, you know, we have the big battle. Obviously not. Obviously that's next episode. But I kind of was like, I won't say let down by this episode, but I definitely was like, okay.
I think it's a little bit better. I think it was a little bit better.
Let's get to the battle.
A little bit more than last episode.
So we said we were going to answer some of you guys' questions. We've had a few friends send us some questions. One of my buddies, Michael Cortez, sent, you think Jon's new romance with Khaleesi will negatively affect his focus and impair his decision making?
Yes.
Yes. Obviously, Jon has always fought with honor, but
he's always fought with his heart.
One thing he's always fought with is his heart. So when it comes down to making a hard choice,
but I feel like you see for the first time that you see him pushing himself away from the person that he does love because he knows the truth and he knows that.
I think that's going to make a big difference, knowing the truth.
That she knows the truth now, and that he might really find out behind all that he loves is the true image of what she really is.
Yeah. So the next question is, I think Sansa's concerns are valid, and I really hope Jon isn't getting too whipped by the Mother of Dragons. So we just kind of we touched on that. I definitely agree. I mean, I think that Sansa's, worries are warranted. She's watching out for Jon, and you can kind of tell that Dany is showing that, the only thing that's important to her is the throne. She might say, I love Jon, but she's not showing, I love Jon. She's showing and saying, at the end of the day, I want the throne.
Dany seems like the only person in this whole scenario. Obviously, Cersei is in King's Landing, so she doesn't have to worry about the dead coming for her for quite a while. But Dany seems like the only person that really isn't concerned about the dead. She obviously knows that they are coming, but she's thinking,
like looking past that already.
It's like, you should probably think about the threat right at your face.
Yeah.
And
which is pretty bold because she's seen the threat.
It's like you realize that he just threw something and killed your dragon. Not saying that he can't do it again to 2 more, and you are done. You ain't the mother of dragons anymore because you don't got no damn dragons.
And there's a theory that if he does do that she will go with him to be with her dragons. Whether or not she has a baby with Jon or she's carrying Jon's baby, she's going to make a deal with the Night King because she wants to be with her children, her dragon children. So that's another theory that we're going to have to see if it plays out. Last question is, how do you think Khaleesi will react when she finds out Jon trumps her from being the rightful heir to the throne?
We already talked about that. I knew that she was going to take it terribly because she has been dreaming about this her entire life. She has wanted nothing more to be queen of the 7 kingdoms. And
now that that's in
jeopardy. That perspective is not in relativity, but honestly, I don't think Jon really cares right now about being the king of the 7 kingdoms, because at this point there might not be no 7 kingdoms after this war.
Exactly.
But I I think that I knew it. I knew from the moment that we found out. I remember him saying like, well, she loves him, and
We'll
he's
see.
gonna be good. They're gonna love each other. And I was like, no, she's a lady after one mission, and she don't care about no dick. She cares all about one thing, and her one thing is to sit on that throne. And
it's definitely playing out to that. It's definitely playing out to where she's showing
I've got women intuition. I know
what she truly wants and what's important to her. But until next time, guys, we appreciate the questions. Keep sending us in, and we will see you next time after Thrones.